Now we're going to show you how to arrange your countertops, how to lay them out, the proper way to do it, and all, how to put them together, basically how to set them up. When you first arrive at your tent, a lumber truck should have delivered your lumber. As you can see here, you've got your legs, your under counter shelving, and your countertops. And they dropped them off here because honestly that's the easiest place for them to drop them off. They've got a lot of stops. And so just a side note to keep in mind, when you take everything down, you need to pile it back up just where you found it, because that makes it easiest for the trucks. Anyways, once you come in and you've got all your lumber here, what you're going to do is you're going to pick your lumber up and you're basically going to lay it out. Well, we're going to give you, in your paperwork, you should have a diagram. And this diagram will show you how to lay your countertops out. All right, what you're going to want to do is start laying these counters out. And you're going to need to allow 7 feet of walking space in the front of your counters. So we know that this is going to be the front side of our tent where people come in and out, and our checkout areas are going to be along this front side. And then we want to leave 6 feet on all the other sides. And so we're going to come here and get our corner. And then you're going to want to just kind of measure it off. 2, 3, 6. And so I want to come about there, about 7 feet. Once you reach this, now this is also very important. When you come to right here, we've already decided based on where our parking lot is, where the road is, that we want this to be our front entrance. And our front entrance is going to be between this pole and this pole right down here. The area between those 3 poles are going to be your front entrance. So because of that, we want to come here and we want our checkout area to be right here. Well, the checkout area is going to need to be indented. And the reason that it's indented is because you don't want a long line of people waiting with their merchandise to check out, meanwhile blocking all of your customers trying to walk around the tent. Therefore, you indent the checkout area, and the checkout area is always at your entrance exit at the front of your tent. Also, you want to leave a foot, 2 foot, it's really up to you exactly how much, but you want to leave a small gap between your checkout area, which is going to be here, and your counters where your first items are going to be placed here. The reason for that is you've got to have a way to get inside your counters. Otherwise, you're going to have to crawl underneath or jump over, and I don't think you really want to do either one of those, so I would personally rather just walk through an open space. Also, with your checkout area, you want to make it generally 16 feet long. These countertops are about 8 feet, they are 8 feet long, and so you want to have 2 of them together, and that will make up your checkout area. One real big mistake that people make is they do not leave themselves enough room for their checkout area. It turns into a bad experience if a customer has to wait for a long time. So the worst thing that you can do is only leave yourself enough room for 2 checkout areas when you determine that on the 3rd and the 4th, really it would be nice if you had room to put an extra checkout area. Also, one last thing, as I said earlier, your merchandise will start here and then it will end right over here on the other side of your checkout area. When you're doing your checkout area, you have to indent it. I mean, we've come to some tents, especially new operators' tents, and the checkout area just goes straight across with the rest of the counters. You cannot do that. You have to indent the checkout area. The reason for this is because if you don't, your customers that are waiting to pay are just going to back up, and then it's going to block the entire flow around your tent and essentially make you less money. We're laying the counters out here, and this is something that you need to see. As you can tell, we came from the front side, came around the side, and now we're along the back stretch of the tent. Well, we laid our counter out like this, and then we looked at it and we realized we don't have enough space here for our customers. So instead of, we've had people in the past cut boards and things of that nature. There's never, ever a need to cut a board. You should never cut a board. Matter of fact, do not cut a board. What you need to do is instead, since there's not enough space here, we just pick the board up, move it to the other side. Let's say that after you arrange it, you determine that you don't have enough room on this side over here. Well, that's easy. No need to cut the board, just overlap them. And that way you've just taken 2 foot less. You can overlap boards all around your tent if you need to. There's never ever a reason to cut a board. Another thing that you need to know about the layout of the counters is along the back side, you need to indent your counters back here as well. Now, there's a couple different ways to do this. The way that we had typically, traditionally I should say, have shown people to do it is to just come straight in like this. Well, that doesn't exactly leave a whole lot of room in a 40 by 60 tent, which is what the majority of our tents are. So, in order to leave a little bit more space for you to work as well, you can actually indent as deep or as shallow as you want. What this does again is it helps to let customers come into that indention, look at some of, perhaps your more popular items, and that way not creating a block of your traffic flow. What you need to do is take the outside corner of this countertop with the outside corner of this one right here on the ground and just match it up right on top of each other. Once you've got that, then I can make it any angle I want. I could have it steep, I can bring it out shallower, and then once you've got that, say that's the way I want to have mine, then you come right here. Now on the back side, you're going to want to take the back corner of this board with the back corner of this board. You're going to want it to be straight, and you're going to want to come down this way. Then you come here again with the back corner, bring it out, and you want to make sure that the end out here is even with the end over here. Then again, just as you did that corner, you would also do this corner and stretch it, have it come down the rest of the back stretch. Now you see what the entire indention looks like. This is difficult to do if you have smaller than a 40 by 60 tent. What I've always done is just after I've got my counters laid out so that I don't have to go grab legs constantly, I just go ahead and lay my legs out all the way around my counters. That way they're right there as you start building them. In most cases, you do not have enough legs to put a leg in the center of each and every single countertop. What you will want to do is just hold off and build your counters without putting a center leg under a lot of them. That way, once you lay your fireworks out, you can determine, well, where are my 500 grams and my heavier items, things of that nature, and that will allow you to use those legs where you need to be using them, where the weight is.